wrecked in last year's.
You could just put another 20.
Dire team banned.
Even would.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I didn't realize.
You can also email him. He will reply.
We haven't spoken about this trophy, by the way, which I love. I think it's really different.
supposed
It's
to be
like
a
it's like a superhero ages that
It's
you
the
can
Superman Dota
Yeah,
theme.
yeah, exactly.
I feel like looked at this Sven Immortal, this shield thing, the Aegis shield, whatever he has.
So wait, if they just like, is it a sort of an Iron Man?
It looks like a chest thing, doesn't it? It does. It looks like it's maybe.
Yeah, I'm gonna steal it, obviously. That's the case.
That would make you the Superman.
Yeah,
Yeah, you would be the.
I mean, I fit the role.
You have the right name, I guess.
I mean, next time
the baddies.
so next time the
Dominic.
camera's on me, I'll show you my.
Dominic is a baddie's name, isn't it?
No.
And he's
Is it?
It does kind of sound like...
Wait,
Well,
wait,
all
wait.
right, hold on.
Fast and Furious, anyone?
True.
Dom?
Oh, you are no Vin
Dom?
Diesel, my friend. I'm sorry.
You shave your head, baby.
Guacamole dog!
You should definitely
Draft.
shave your head.
I will.
Look at the sky
Draft is here, thankfully, to save us. Naga ban this time round, Virtus Pro. And as we would have predicted, the Wisp ban alongside the Skywrath from Team
And
Liquid.
switching things around. VP will be first pick this time on the Dire side.
They will. VP, first pick. And they chose first pick.
They chose first pick. Did Liquid choose
Liquid
first pick?
chose
Okay.
Radiant. Yeah, and
Liquid
it was the
chose
same the
Radiant.
other way around on the first game.
So with the Warlock ban this time around, say Virtus Pro is gonna run. Like, of course they're gonna run an aggregate lane, etc. But they want one of those spam heroes, right?
Yeah.
They can't have Sky, but maybe Lash,
Beastmaster.
maybe the Deuce, Beastmaster.
Beastmaster, yeah.
Force.
And the Visage.
Lash Sand King still in, but it's not as good on. No, it's actually really good on second pick. What am I talking
Yeah.
about? Lash Sand King right
The
here.
other thing is that they have open Wind Ranger both as first pick and second pick in this event.
Wind Ranger.
GH Wind Ranger, yeah. Very good
They've
too.
opened Wind Ranger Doom. They've opened Wind
10
Ranger
seconds
Beastmaster.
remaining.
So that's the thing is, that's why like.
And
Just going for SK
Okay,
Lash.
Lash Sand King.
Predicted.
yeah, there you go.
Respond by Bane.
Okay.
Elemental.
It's the 37th, in fact 38th pick of the tournament so far for Beastmaster, which puts it out on its own right now, most picked.
Undying ban. They third picked it yesterday, right after those two heroes. So expected ban. What is VP looking for? A Roger hero. What's a
Yeah.
good Roger hero this game? Sand King is gone. Skyroth is gone.
How about support Kunkka?
Possible. Not the strongest on the lane, however.
I just like the Kunkka pick, either core or support against what ends up being a pretty strong team fight combo.
Yeah, the Ram definitely will do a lot of work. I just feel like as soon as his Kunkka hits level 6, he's like one of the strongest heroes on the map.
Yep.
10 seconds remaining.
It's not LGD. It's not VG.
5 seconds
I'm
remaining.
pretty sure
Do you prefer the Zeus as a core or support? Okay, me too.
core.
Lightning.
I like
You
solo.
prefer every hero as a
The
core.
solo with Zeus is so good. You just bolt people.
Black, Crystal Maiden. Support or core?
250 attack speed, core.
Radiant team
Oh
banned.
my god. Did you really even have to test it, Cap?
Look at the
There's
talent.
the Tinker ban.
No, I just wanted to set him up for it.
Yeah.
Of course.
Good job. Thanks, dude.
Like it. Oracle?
Oracle.
Support or...
Aghanims. Aghanims pick up.
Agon's pick up.
Oh my
So much
god.
damage.
Insane.
Insane. Arcane Rune, lucky.
Oh.
If you don't kill them, they heal like 500 health per second.
And you even have your own protect mechanism. How can they stop you? You just hit R on yourself and then you attack them.
Okay. I've got it. Treant Lich.
Well, tree, there's not even a question to that.
Level 100 damage.
Ags.
Insane damage.
Yeah. Mask of Madness. Or something like that.
And Lich has
120. 120. And Skadi inbuilt.
Yeah, it definitely worked earlier in this tournament when we saw it.
because they didn't run it.
Yeah.
VP
Why would
electing
you
to
run these
leave
heroes
the
as support?
Visage on the board. Huh.
Well, that's because
Radiant team
I guess that you
They
can't
want
argue
Liquid
with
to
the
pick
Tinker
it.
ban.
Kunker ban from Liquid.
There's the Lich. Okay.
Hi guys. Just throw that one out there for the second time in this entire tournament. The last time we saw it, it was paired with the Treant.
Yeah.
It didn't work.
Was that TNC? Or Mineski that did that?
No, Vici, I
It was
believe.
Vici.
Okay. Yeah, that's right. They did the Train Phoenix and the
Treant Phoenix
game
was the
before that.
second
Okay.
game.
So does Lich try and
5 seconds
replace the
remaining.
lock in the slow down the physical damage? Beastmaster. I'm gonna armor up.
It's really good mid game too, because usually he goes for Medallion Shadowblade. Any hero with Frost Armor, he won't be able to solo kill.
Yeah.
I mean, Lich is
Interesting
just.
concept, but it's such a slow.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of Lich. I'm playing it,
Well-
but like mid late game, if I'm Frost Armor, I'm happy.
I mean, Lich is a hero that you pick when you want to slow down the pace of the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so that to me tells me a lot about what Liquid's looking at with these last two picks. Maybe harder scaling, less
I mean-
mid-game oriented than their last strat.
I think Lich is way better when you're last pick because you can pick the hard carry that actually is really good against everything.
Yeah.
And again, you can lane appropriately. You could probably even dual a middle. There's some miracle. Anti-mage Lich.
By the way, I love that Kunkka ban by Liquid for exactly the reason I was talking about. We need a Roger hero here, most likely. The Skyrus already out. Clockwork, no.
So he goes for the Wind
There's
Ranger
the support
instead.
Wind Ranger on the side of VP. That could be moved over to a core as well.
Has Roger played it?
That's what I'm going to look at.
I don't think no one.
No one
No,
has.
it's not a no one hero.
No.
I'm sure you can play it, but it doesn't fit the team.
Although,
I think.
again, Invoker hadn't been a no-one hero for the last 7 months either.
Yeah.
Well,
so,
that's why it didn't work out.
I don't know about that.
seconds
He looked pretty
remaining.
good.
It's because he's beast.
Yes.
He is a beast.
5 seconds remaining.
And I have a no one card, by the way.
So we're gonna save our hard for
Yep.
Liquid last. For
Yeah, they're gonna pick the Martin hero though.
VP's first pick of the Wind Ranger in the last 3 months.
I wouldn't mind a Visage again. Really good against the heroes.
See, I think it's. I think with the Visage, I like it on paper, but then the Lich tells me that you want to slow the game down, and so the Visage became a lot less likely to me when you saw the Lich on board.
But you still want to be able to team fight though, right? So Visage is one of like the better heroes for that. Unless you want like a Venomancer.
But what about something like a Lone Druid? Something that's going to slow the game down, split push, still be a dead lane
But
hero.
Lich, Lone Druid plus another carry for Miracle sounds incredibly greedy though. Like,
Yeah,
it can work, but it sounds very greedy.
it is. It would be.
I just want Martin to be able to fight. Yeah,
Okay,
like Veno,
alright.
Visage, something like that.
The last time that
Life
Virtus
Leader.
Pro
Yeah,
played this
Razor.
Wind Ranger, by the way, was
2015.
no, not quite that long ago, but the 6th. 6th of January last year. 18 months.
So
So you have to give away information here. That's the big thing. You have to show what the Lesher the Sinking is going
For
to
the
be.
DP,
Okay.
yeah, another fighting carry.
I was just Death Prophet's still out there.
Oh yeah.
A VP banned it last game, it didn't ban it this
It's
game.
been a 1-2 for both.
Bloodseeker.
And the immediate counter pick of the Bloodseeker, that Death Prophet mid will get destroyed.
If it is mid.
Okay, it's gonna be a side lane, but
Yeah,
I think you're
Matu
right.
DP.
I think you're right.
Tinker is banned, however. I still like other heroes, like Storm Spirit.
I mean, you look at the aggro dueling
seconds
combinations. Leshrac Sand King most likely on the one side, the Beastmaster Wind
5
Ranger or
seconds
Beastmaster
remaining.
Bane on the other. There's gonna be a lot of action in both those duel lanes. This Bloodseeker is gonna have those. I don't think this will be a safe lane Bloodseeker by any means. I think this is set up to be a mid Bloodseeker.
I think they're gonna do it in the middle though. Lich plus 1 middle, most likely, against the
You think?
Bloodseeker.
So the last time they played that Wind Ranger, said 18 months ago, was at ESL1 Genting last January.
And they lost.
It was no one, and they won against Fnatic.
And they won.
The time before
Go
that,
black.
the time before that, they played a Star Ladder in 2016 against Escape Gaming, which they also won.
So I like
Twice
So-
in 2 years.
Remaining.
Go ahead, Cap, please.
the Broodmother band would
5
run
seconds
over
remaining.
the. There's other be particularly. We're looking at like a saving mech.
They probably want to pick a Ramses here though,
Yeah.
right? And then put
I'm
the
thinking
Bloodseeker in
more-
mid.
I'm looking.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
see,
yeah.
I think I'm more and more on board with this black idea of the dedicated Lich dual mid, and maybe you get away with something a little greedier like an SF.
SF could work. There's a lot of heroes that could work on paper, but then again, we're not Kuroki. That's why we're here, and he's there. I think PL right now looks quite strong as well.
Yeah, I'd like PL.
Like PL Lich can beat the Bloodseeker mid.
But you
wanna
could turn
lane
that
it
into a core.
You
once
could
you
do
reveal
that
that.
too.
And that's
No, I mean for Liquid.
Oh, okay.
Liquid PL.
Sure.
VPs, they don't really like PL, I think. I have not seen them play it for
What are they
Rams
missing?
is-
with
yeah,
the lineup
not
they've
for a
got
while.
right now. What are they missing?
VP.
Yeah.
I think they're missing
AoE.
yeah, some kind of AoE.
Yeah, they have no AoE.
Yeah.
That's why, like, I'm starting to wonder about, like, Chaos Knight doesn't fit for Liquid, but
I really like that Storm band though.
Yeah.
I think Storm would have rolled them over. Truly. That was funny. Can you laugh? We're a team.
I did.
Okay.
Radiant team pick.
Great.
Faceless Void.
Faceless Void.
Faceless Void, okay.
Well, there's your AoE.
Yeah.
I
AoE
think
control.
so. It's a mid Bloodseeker, safe lane Void. I think Phantom Lancer got even better now.
You like the PL Void matchup?
It's quite good.
Okay.
Because you just keep sending illusions at him, and at some point he runs out of mana to Chrono. And if that ever happens, he's screwed.
You have a lot of it.
10 seconds remaining.
You do, for sure. If you get caught in Chrono, pretty much every hero just dies.
seconds
Unless you have an Adelant.
You need your game-winning hero.
What's the thing called again? Aeon Disc. Yeah.
Save the mech.
OD is good.
SFOD.
Lane might be a bit rough though against the Bloodseeker. I think it can still work out.
Ember?
Ember's good. Honestly, I don't know. Like, Miracle always plays like so many different heroes in his mid lane, whatever he feels like playing. Especially if there's a Lich, they have so many more options.
I won't even mention my favorite.
It's not good.
No, it's terrible.
Phantom Lancer? What's it gonna be? Phantom Lancer or OD?
PL.
Random hero.
Choose
Monkey
your hero.
King
Wow, you wanted
against the
random.
Bloodseeker.
Melee. Okay, melee on melee.
That is
It
a very
gives you
good
the
matchup.
zone. Oh, that's actually sick. It
But
gives
this
you the zoning against the Chronosphere.
Because they have 3 melee cores, so they can't have a good matchup against the monkey at all.
And you
Bro.
have the
Yep.
just
The thing was,
buff it up even more.
like Lich Monkey, right? You get Nova middle, you just die as Bloodseeker, right?
Yep.
Like you actually just die. He gets the stacks up, he stuns you, you're dead.
How did they think of that pick?
All right,
How
let's,
did we not think of that pick?
let's go down
Yeah,
the line
yeah,
and see
honestly, yeah.
whether the other two are going to argue with Alan. Alan.
Liquid.
Liquid,
Oh dear. Cap, this seems to have backfired on you.
just to make sure,
Sorry, buddy.
It's me, it's Liquid.
wait, just to make sure everybody knows it was his idea.
Right.
So if he doesn't go with it,
I think the Monkey King and Lich dual lane shuts down the Bloodseeker, and if Bloodseeker can't lane, he can't have a game.
anyone really, right? Nobody can lane against the monkey this game, I think.
All right. Okay. You're going to go with Liquid as well. I can't persuade you otherwise. With a 70% win rate on the Bloodseeker.
No.
Fellow panelist call.
Okay. No,
We
that
are a
makes
team
sense.
here.
I'm just prodding.
We are a
Really
team.
does this fall apart after we
It's
get one
fine.
wrong.
The riding and dying hit. It's like an elevated version of Mafia right now on our panel. Is it going to be 2-0 to Liquid after another good draft? Let's find out as we head back to our commentary duo. They are ready and waiting to bring you game number 2.
I would like to thank our panel for being absolutely wonderful by predicting the team that will now lose. So we can have ourselves a full series, or at least a 4th game.
You doubt them now, or are you just hoping for 5?
No, I just doubt the panel in general. I don't even doubt Liquid. I just doubt our panel. How do you feel about this? Like, we're running a 3 melee core lineup from Virtus Pro. They're doing it against the Lich pickup, which came in the mid draft from Team Liquid. How is this all meant to sync? Who really is meant to have the advantage?
I think Liquid, LGD picked Monkey King against VP's Void. I think they should have probably won that game. They had a couple real questionable dives. I think it's a great last pick. The concern I have with VP's lineup is you have Bloodseeker Beast, incredible damage amp, but the Ramsey's hero is a Void. I like these heroes a lot better when they're paired with something like a Medusa or a Gyrocopter, something that not only provides you, like, it's just AoE damage that's increased, whereas Void, if he falls behind, like, he's playing against a Lich as is, like, it's so much single target damage, it feels like the same game as the previous, where Liquid's team fight is superior, and their tower push is too.
And then it's going to be like a Lawbreaker final. Hey, Roger is the man doing all the damage with a buffed up power shot. Heck yeah, welcome to the party. That's the way to do it.
It's still very possible, but the Void needs to have a great game, and I don't know if Lich is good or not, but if anyone can make Lich work, it's Kuro, so...
Oh. We'll see how it unfolds as we get to look at our lane. So no one in solo are starting off here in the mid lane. They're dueling together. Bane as well as Bloodseeker versus Miracle. This is going to be a hard time. Like, yeah, he's crapping bananas out in the mid lane. It's a rather scary lane. Bottom lane's going to be Ramses and Roger. That Void as well as Wind Ranger with the early Orb of Venom going against Batomaman's Death Prophet, trying to sustain. Kuro is there to try and help him out. And that leaves the top lane, which is GH and Mind Control, SK as well as Strack respectively, against Pasha. So already the lanes are starting to rotate a little bit. Kuro is headed towards the mid lane. He's trying to ensure that Miracle can have a half decent start, but this has to be death to Matubberman on the safe lane. He's already fortifying to try and keep his creep wave alive as Roger and Ramsey's dive and it forces the TP back. That's GH actually coming down the bottom lane, able to get the Burrow Strike out. Wind Run not leveled up from Roger. Matubberman will get the first blood. Time walk away from Ramsey's, but VP aggressive to the point of giving first blood to Liquid.
Is this another? He's gonna get the caustic proc. I think.
On bottom, yeah, Ramsey, one more attack. Yeah, he's gonna pop. They get both core and support in the off lane.
Yeah, VP, incredible team, but definitely, I don't know if you noticed this, Toby. They lost that last game, right? Did you see any all chat spam from them? Any voice lines?
No. Well, maybe they realized. Maybe that's the whole thing. Once you block a VP have just lost their power.
Well, there you go. They proved me wrong as is, but I think
they can't hear you. We're not on the PA system out there or in the ears of the players.
they're just a very momentum-based team, and I fear a dive like that. When you're Wind Ranger Void, you want to stay ahead of your lane. Now you're against DP Sand King. Like Wind Ranger's going to be threatened. This is not a lane you really win anymore in mid lane.
You're meant to harass that lane down. Like that's the power of the Wind Ranger, right? Like this long range, slow harass. You can't really harass back because she's just able to wind run and dodge any kind of aggression that you've got on her.
Yeah, and you're not going to win mid as a Bloodseeker Bane against Monkey King Lich.
Yeah. This is going to get pulled back. Solo's doing everything he possibly can, but he went again for the 0-1-1 at the start. No points in Feeble, no removing the damage of Miracle, who's already sitting at plus 60. Gotta love that Jingu Mastery.
Yeah, pretty static game. The Matubberman DP is not the greatest lasting down here. That is one big advantage of Void. You just have a Quelling Blade, and all of a sudden you're going to secure every last hit. You can see he's already #1 in the game.
Power shot, Nightmare, Solo came on the back of the haste rune. Nightmare switched over towards Matubberman. They really want to try and catch out GH. Power shot's still going to be on cooldown, so harassment's good. And Ramsey's is still only a level 2 Faceless Void. There is no follow-up here. And because of that movement, now you see no one being aggressively dived by Miracle. He's got that plus 90 damage of Jingu. Ready to rock and rumble. And Solo's already come back towards the mid lane. So Miracle, happy to hit anyone that was willing to oblige Miracle. Looking for the slap down, still hoping for that chance against no one. It's only a level 1 Thirst. So Solo back into the trees. No one had to salve up pretty quickly. And Miracle, gotta love that life coming back in.
Yeah. It's so easy to get Jingus up. Bane, super low attack range. Bloodseeker, obviously a melee hero.
You can play around all you want with that mischief, but
Bottom lane, they're going in on Roger.
yeah, real deep. Power shot comes down from GH, so that's gonna be Roger to go down. GH as well because he caught that power shot. Does go down. Brain Tap Miracle so low on life. No one making the most of it, gets the poor swipe forward. You're not meant to win that lane, but at least they get something back into it. They get to kill a Miracle.
Bloodseeker, as soon as those heroes in the side lanes go low up top, Beast is always pressuring Mind Control. This is the 3rd salve he had to buy, and Tango's as well.
And Mind Control TP back to base at one point. That's a lot of time out of the lane.
Really big kill for them now. You have the equil up on Miracle, but this lane gets harder if the Bloodseeker can hit 6, but at the same time, like, you can't really ever... If this is left as a pure 1v1, the Monkey King should pull ahead just because you're always getting full Jingus.
SK's rotating up towards the top lane. GH is hoping for some kind of gank. Pasha coming for the 5-minute rune is that perfect opportunity to go for it. So they do have Split Earth Stun on top of the rune. Pasha's going to grab it, actually bobbles it, so they'll have a couple of charges and stick charges. Not to mention those level 3 axes giving him the damage and the physical damage. Mind Control trades one-on-one with him. Kuro even TP's out quickly, realizing Miracle's in trouble in the mid lane. No one made the most of the low life to get aggressive into the face of that Monkey King.
It's the same story. I love Pasha's decision. Instead of just running away, accepting his death, he turns. Probably shouldn't get that kill, but does, and he enables his Bloodseeker in the mid lane to find a kill as well. This is the strength of this hero, even though he's outlaned. And I've said, oh, he can't be here, but at the same time, once he gets the attack,
they're going to go after Mind Control. Solo can just start with a Nightmare if they want to try and position for it nicely. Pasha's coming in. He's got both Raw and level 3 axes. GH will have to create some space, but the axe on the Raw. Burrow strike Pasha. Look at the sidestep. That's a perfect Michael Flatley moment. Slips to the side, stands a jig, and take the kill.
Down bottom as well. DP out of mana. No drains left. Gets bashed.
Power shot going to be off target. However, they need that damage to get the quick kill and move out of here. Roger, he's got Windrun available so he can be underneath the tower a little bit longer. But Matumba barely clinging to life. He's got 8 1 charges as well as the 3 charges of infused raindrop, so he's got some level of protection. But this top lane belongs to VP. They're even going to fortify to keep that pressure underneath the tier 1 tower. Matumba. Roger and Ramsey still trying to go to work with him, looking for that. If he can get it, the 1 level of time lock hit onto Matumba. It does not come, however.
It's a little troublesome for the Liquid lineup. They're very much a mid-game lineup, and
they're going again. Ramsey's time walks on cooldown for the moment. Roger's keeping this harassment up, and he loves it because no one's got such high movement speed. Almost 500 movement speed. He's coming in. Blood Rage himself up. Starts with a right. GH and Matumba. They realize what's going on. 2 attacks will kill off GH. Maybe with the Burrow Strike back and Crypt Swarm. No Spirit Siphon available. Solo has a double damage room. Can't find his target. The Power Shot will do the work. Remember, no one's giving him the vision, but Matumba starts to TP out. Will not succeed. The Nightmare stops it. Up on top lane. Pasha does it himself. Seeing all of this with our picture-in-picture. So Matumba and Mic Control go down. GH will join them in the afterlife. Maybe a stick charge, but the attack. Roger can keep up. Has the movement speed thanks to that wind run. And Kuro want to be part of this. Nightmare's off cooldown right now. But Solo can't close the distance on Kuro.
Kuro's going a skill build I have never seen before in a Lich. He's currently 1-3-1. Maxing out Ice Armor, an ability that really doesn't scale super well. I think that's a second point could be fine, but he has very limited offensive power. And the issue with the Liquid Lounge, they're very team fight based. They need a strong mid game. They need to be able to walk down towers. VP is going to have no trouble finding kills just using Chrono, Grip, Beastmaster, or Rupture off cooldown.
Yeah.
If you allow them to play this map dominant skirmish style, they're going to pull ahead and they're dominating the laning phase.
Shackle. Roger is able to latch. Kuro wants to help out. The Frost Armor is on the Monkey King, making these attacks hard and slow, and then the slap down. No one's low on life. He's still short of level 6. They're trying to beat into Miracle. Just can't do enough damage, at least not enough damage that's not repairable in Solo. This is an interesting walkthrough.
Look at the smoke up top, though.
We're actually going to find
camping the shrine.
My Control is just bouncing his way out of here. Disco Pony. Okay, he's not leaving. GH is sticking around too. The ball from Beastmaster checking out behind him. Matumba can't get close enough for the kill.
Pasha is playing on point this game. Not just finding the kills, but avoiding the gank. But like just playing aggressive enough where you try anyway. If you sit at the tower, the enemy team can just rotate around, but this way you force them up to your lane, shove it out, and now you just play confident.
Rupture's out. Miracle doesn't want to find this one. Blood Right's there too. Shackle just holds Miracle in position for half a second, and that's low enough. No one doesn't get the last hit in, so no regeneration. Actually, TP the Faceless Void in. Maybe Ramsey's thinking this was a bigger fight worthy of a Chronosphere.
No, it's just a VP efficient TP. They do these all the time where bottom lane was shoved in, so there's no creeps that are going to be lost out, and there's no reason not to port. It's so cheap, you're not really going to ever look to port all the way to top, but come mid, maybe Liquid responds, you get a Chrono follow-up. He's going to be back bottom. He did not miss a creep of XP.
Now middle lane can be soaked up by Roger. He had a fantastic Skywrath game previously. Now you just had the Bloodseeker go jungle. This is almost like when you had the 1 positions in the safe lanes, when we had like the lifesteals and such. And just like peel off, they go jungle and make sure these supports are willing and enabled to fight through levels and gold.
Well, I like this decision a lot because, you know, you still can't really lane against Monkey King, even if you're ahead one-on-one, but the Wind Ranger's never threatened.
We're going again. It's that 10-minute rune contest. Liquid want to have it for their top rune, and especially considering Pasha's been very aggressive on him. But I hate to say they only got 1 bounty rune because Ramsey's got the others.
Yep. You're going to see him pick up that invis. Not really much to do with it. He might look to go mid, but there's already a sentry down.
4 heroes from Liquid have grouped up here. GH still only level 4. Ramsey's invis. He's underneath the sentry wood. And they don't know if they have enough control. He's out of range of the sentry. And the way Miracle acted then revealed that to Ramsey that they actually saw him. But now Pasha, smoked up, comes towards the mid lane, will look for a gank of his own. Burrow strike first from GH, now in through the sides, gets the roar off from the Chronosphere. It's clipped to that TP in from Matumba. He's just outside the Chronosphere. GH goes in the Sandstorm, goes a little bit more invis. That Prophet now has to stand as she is locked in position thanks to the rupture. GH can leave Burrow strike and they have the damage with mind control. Everybody is here. It's a 5-on-5 fight, minus the 2 deaths, but that doesn't mean Matumba can stand his ground. The axes and the level 3 brain sap.
And the level 2 Blood Rage from Bloodseeker.
Oh,
that's the reason that he actually goes down there. That 30% damage amp on a DP. I think that's a great fight from VP. Excellent pincer. They get the kill on Monkey King before he can get anything off. They're playing around the map very well. And then immediately, look, they're back in lanes.
Yep.
Void already bottom. Top lane already pressured out.
And no one's got the top lane. The Faceless Void working closer towards that Mask of Mana, so during Chronospheres, he won't rely on his teammates to do the damage for him.
Now you're going to have the solo nighttime warding mission like he's done many, many times before. 3 wards, 2 smokes, he's ready to go. And this is something a lot of supports are hesitant to do. When you hit around this nighttime, you don't have wards up, solo smoke, no big deal. Place all your vision. It's very unlikely to get counted because they'll have no idea where you ran. Really important that this happens because...
He was just out of range of that deep observer ward of Team Liquid too, or else they would have known he was going for this mission. But you can see the objective of Virtus Pro, control up the Radiant Southern jungle. And then Solo use that smoke to try and rotate down towards the bottom. GH is in the tree lines, and Fiendscript. Solo's got him held. A lot of TP supports coming in, 2 of them in the trees. GH is solo and live. Party will arrive, but he doesn't have access up, and Solo is very dead. 4 heroes come down. Actually, all 5 heroes come down for this kill, and all they get is Solo. How many times have we seen this where VP look for fights and Solo's the only one that dies?
Yep. And it's value too. Got the wards down.
And now they can actually get a revenge kill with time dilation. But Sutherland, he has the movement speed, got the space. GH with the fire strike into everything. Ramsey has to time walk away. Very difficult to control him. Chrono's on cooldown for 11 more seconds and no one arrives. Starts to rupture. It's on the Tumberman once again. He's solo online, so no one can just rotate around. The Bane, he's back this fight. Solo is the world of living. Monkey King bounces around. Miracle, ready to jump in. He's at Wukong command. It's a good Chronosphere. It's just being controlled. It's actually just controlling the track. I say it's a good one. They didn't really get much of a follow-up. The Wukong command has split this fight into 2. Solo being caught on the wrong side of those tracks. But it's the Bloodseeker going down.
I'm surprised VP rotated that heavily. I felt like they ditched Solo. We're in the middle of talking about how that's a good death.
Yeah.
You're still farming the other 2 lanes. They bring their own 5.
They were trying to force the fight before Chrono was up too.
Yeah.
Like I can see bringing all 5 in when the Chrono was up, and they've got a lot of follow-up damage inside of it. Yeah, they kind of made up for the heavy commitment for Team Liquid. Now it's Pasha in the trees. And the TP scroll will dodge the first attack. Axes fly in and out. There's a little bit of chip damage, but Pasha knows he's dead. Can summon up a couple of boars, but this actually just becomes food. My control leaves the Pulse Nova on for half a second longer. More money.
Still with the top 3 cores in net worth on VP.
Roger. Does not connect onto GH. But it's not stopping no one in solo. No one's at 511 movement speed.
Yeah. And Kerr also, he committed. He went 1-4-1. So max ice armor, even though he's only level 8. All of the heroes are going to be deceptively tanky.
Get that kill. Meanwhile, in towards mid, no one. Begins the rupture over on Miracle. Starts the blood right. Solo's there. Fiendscript to cancel the TP out. So they will have to burn 2 ultimates for it. But a kill onto Miracle is going to still be worth it to hold the top 3 net worth positions for VP.
And I like what they're doing. Roger's just been camping out inside the Radiant jungle. No one playing the top
He's
area.
waiting for the courier.
Yeah. He's just been sitting on those wards, though, just waiting. I don't know if he's actually going to get this courier. He's going to need at least 2 hits.
Courier's coming. He's got wind run, and he can keep up with it at least. So let's see if they're quick on it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Wind run, wind run, wind run. Bomb, bomb. Focus firing to ensure he's got it all. And a love heart. Aww. Yeah, it's good. Control up solo. No way in and out of this. X isn't being burnt means they want to try and push the lane, but Roger's already there to power shot back the Radiant creep wave.
And it's the same as the 10-minute rune fight, though. Yeah, you get the 1, you get a kill, but up top, no one's just collecting 2 for free.
Oh. And Pasha's still got the 1 on their side of the river. Actually, what was it? Hang on. Yeah.
Yeah, they got 3 again.
Yeah, they did. I'm not doing the counting on the list.
And this is where The VP lineup is great if you're in a position where you can just sit on a lead, because you're going to keep accelerating. You have a much easier time finding pickoffs. Liquid need fights.
Oh, Rupture. It's on the Miracle. He can't treat Eds himself away from this, and he knows it. That's to stand his ground. And no extra pressure without the Fiend's grip. Maybe VP feeling a little bit more cautious. They're dropping him Observe Ward right on top of Team Liquid, so I'm assuming now it'll be dewatered by Koro.
Oh, the Sentry just barely missing the Liquid Ward as well. But again, though, they force so many rotations just by paying with the Rupture. Down bottom now, you have Beastmaster shoving the lane hard, and there's a Lesh here. If Wind Rangers finds him, this is a dead mind control.
Observer Ward does see from mind control Roger's movement. The top lane's already been pressured pretty heavily, so Blood Right will try and push it back. Nice quick split Earth. Roger doesn't have the Shackle line against mind control. Rupture's back off cooldown, 13 seconds time. You'll have Bloodseeker as well with the Blade Mail.
Look at the positioning as well. They have that ward on the side, so Solo knows he can just sit here. Bloodseeker constantly spamming out that Blood Right, defending tower. In the meanwhile, Void farmed out middle. He's got Chrono ready. They bought enough time to potentially take this fight.
They're bringing friends. Rupture is out. Miracle starts to run into the trees. The Shackle and Fiend's grip onto GH, so he's a non-factor. The Chronosphere from Ramsey's completely ripped. GH's Fire Strike as well creates more space, letting the Chain Frost bounce around. So Lich kills himself on the Blade Mail when that happens, and now Ramsey's time dilation slows down Matumban. Pasha can try and turn. He's already burned the Raw, and he continues to burn the Solar Crest. He's to buy space. No one. Fancy footwork goes left. There are no stuns available. No one's TP successful. Miracle tried to slap him down, but it does not reach. And Virtus Pro, you know they're in a good mood when the lines start to span.
Yeah, couldn't have said it better myself. Just easy setup. They use the Chrono, they find those quick kills, and they just have such an easy time of doing so because Liquid, they can't survive. They can't abuse their team fight potential when one or two heroes are just getting picked off at the start of the fight. No one can live through a roar at the moment.
Need to find a way. Starbar is the way.
The heroes are actually all so squishy, and Matumba Man just not having the game to the point where he can't frontline. Like he has drains up, he's got the full stick, but it just doesn't matter. He only has 1,000 max HP, and worst case scenario, they can just save Rupture for him and run away.
Mind Control's hoping for some kind of fight up on top. Without the Eul Scepter initiation from either him or Matumberman, it's real difficult to catch Solo.
And not only that, Solo had this ward here the whole time. He knows there's still in the area.
Well, here we go again with that replay. So the top lane fight.
Yeah, they force the leap. No one. Nice little juke into the trees. I actually think he dies there if he catches the stun. Just another little micro maneuver. I'll say like both of these teams. Yeah, that's good, boy. That's good. They play a hell of a lot better when they're smiling, man. Maybe watch GH's advice. One of those quotes to live by. Worry is only due to a lack of imagination, or misuse of imagination, rather. I love GH.
I like to say, like, we don't need the bro code. We need the GH code. That's the real secret to life. I would buy that book, yeah. I would buy that more than the perfume of SCCC.
I can agree with that.
Which sold out in the span of like 5 minutes.
Yeah, of course.
Sold out faster than than tickets for TI.
I don't think that's possible. I thought those were gone in like 14 seconds or something like that.
Yeah. Hey, you got time, right? That's what ticket errors are for.
Oh.
All right. So Team Liquid, obviously they got to know they're in a bit of a rough spot. They're 8,000 gold behind. Experience-wise isn't as bad. Win probability is an 88% chance for VP to win. All right, we'll go with that. Fire Strike from GH, a little bit off target. Roger. Just considering a turnaround with the Shackle onto GH. He has a little bit of it. Nightmare as well. Gonna make him a little bit edgy, Team Liquid. Knowing the rest of VP, yeah, they're gonna go straight in for the Fiend's Grip. FP center, GH brings it, blinks forward with the Fire Strike, but they've already lost Matumberman. Maybe it's worth it, but not. The Chronosphere, no one. He's caught on the edge of it inside the Wukong command. They've caught one. The Lich ulti will bounce, but back into the Kree wave, away from the heroes to Roger. It'll hit him and bring him down. Miracle never had to leave the Wukong. Now he will, chasing down Pasha. The buyback came in from the Death Prophet. That's why Matumban is hunting, looking for some revenge of the gold that he had to expend. And he'll have it. It'll be the kill onto Pasha. Okay, no, Matumban will take it. But yeah, it's fine. It's all good.
Such nice little plays. No one ran in, not to the chrono, but just in range of the Leshrac Pulse Nova with his Blade Mail active to assist his Void in taking him out, because that's a bunch of AoE damage. I think he kills him like 2 or 3 ticks faster because of that. And just, again, blood raging the target they're going for, and it dies so quickly. I've yet to see a Bloodseeker use his Q for damage amplification on an enemy. I was talking about how there's no one to really play with on his team to buff, so he just keeps using it on an enemy.
Well, he was waiting for the perfect time in the mid. He's got Rupture available, starts with a Blood right instead. Extra support arrives in the form of the Clarity. They got more to play with.
Yeah.
I love the vision game in the mid lane. Like the Observers and Sentries on almost all sides for VP. And then there's Obs and Sentries smack bang in the middle.
Dude, and I love this. Look at the itemization as well. BKB finished on the Ramses Void. Bloodseeker going to be going BKB directly after the Blade Mail. And it looks like Beastmaster as well, now that he has the Shadowblade Solar. You look at Liquid's lineup, what do they actually do to 3 cores running at them BKB? How many times have we seen this? You get this huge mid-game advantage, you buy the BKBs, all of a sudden not only do you have the better pick-off, reach, and skirmish capabilities, but now you're unkillable in a fight as well.
But you will have, once Monkey King gets bigger, he'll bring the physical damage and then he won't care so much about the BKBs. But
he's 1,000 away from Battle Fury. He's so behind.
Yeah. It's not a great time for Miro. But there's space being created. He's got top lane to farm up. Now VP pressured the mid lane once more. They've still only claimed, like, surprisingly, only 1 tier 1 tower. Maybe not so surprising. Okay, roar in, jump forward. Sand King, they really want to make sure he's not part of this, and with a shackle onto Batumman, they can just rotate from one to the other kill.
That power shot's doing so much damage every time. No one's there with the Blood Rage. The Death Prophet just dies. What is he supposed to do?
Not get caught in the double chronosphere. Ramses, you go from 1 to 2 in one of the fights, walked outside the chrono, but there it is again. Virtus Pro. They are making this look easy, and they're just chaining their initiations perfectly.
The double power shot too, I love it. And look up top, Roger, TP Shrine. This leaves tier 2 teleports active from a teammate. He's gonna potentially find Miracle's Monkey King here, but doing a very good job playing.
So he almost got the tree. If he hit that, the Void would have just gone on a wrecking spree. The Monkey King trying to bounce around. Roger, just a quick power shot, gonna miss the target. Monkey King has already TP'd back up onto the top lane. But that's a tier 1 and a tier 2 tower lost for Team Liquid in the mid. No chance for any kind of denial on it either.
And there's the BKB on Bloodseeker.
Oh, Primal Spring, he's coming forward. The D-warding is out, but Talman's going to go for the silence over on base. No interruption into a Wukong command, wanting no one. BKB, TP out. They've got nothing to break through that. So Wukong will go down, but the 10-second BKB is burnt from no one. They got a little bit more. Yeah, they may have. Kasha in through the rear.
He gets the courier, but I don't know if that's worth it, although it did buy time for that DP ult to continue ticking down, so you can see Liquid ping Roche. Yeah, but it's so risky here. You know you're playing into a Chronosphere Void. It's still down for 40 seconds, but still, the threat is just too much. No Wukongs, you can't take a fight in the pit.
They can try and take the tier 1 tower in mid, but you know Solo and no one are waiting around looking for the denial. That's why Edict turns on from Mind Control, and there is no chance BP can deny that. They back off and continue their farm.
No. Another thing I love, even though they lost the previous game, I thought Ramses' item decisions after the Manta was perfect. That Maelstrom seems to be this perfect, not really recovery item, but it's an acceleration item that's not nearly as expensive as a Battle Fury, and he's picking it up again here. Really like the decision. Especially good just because you'll have the magic damage procs against a Lich. It's just more value.
Rupture's out. GH. Burrow strikes. The Nightmare's going to cancel it. They have that vision as the Observe Ward on the hill on their side. Not to mention their own eyes, so GH just doesn't want to walk off just yet. Being script from Solid, they need that damage to connect, and they've got it. Hold him there for the power shot. And somehow, Monkey King, Pasha, Solo kills Monkey King on top. Sure, we'll go for that. Blink him towards the mid lane. Jump onto Mind Control, and this just appears to be one by one, the Lemmings fall off the cliff. Kuro wants to get back into base, but once again, amplified up. It's on both ankles.
It's so easy, and Liquid, they have no real counterplay to this. They need to be walking in as 5 and taking some decisive fight, but they're so far behind at this point. VP just continuously just getting the one target down, chasing for another. The sleeps, the shackles, the blood rage amp, like they're not low damage at all when somebody gets blood raged.
And they keep winning all these fights around the rune timings too. Like they're getting all 4 bounty runes this time around, which is like, it doesn't seem like a huge thing, but when you're running a Beastmaster who's just not having to go even far away from his lane every single time to get a full bottle charge, just it's spam harass, it's Liquid always behind. It's punishing, and there's no letting up.
Yeah, in the meantime, by the way, Pasha, yeah, he solo killed Monkey King.
Yeah.
That's the hero top net worth for Liquid that you're hoping will eventually carry this game. Like, he gets solo crested, and all of a sudden he just explodes to just a Beastmaster.
Yeah.
He got the Centaur creep, so he had that extra 2 seconds of stun, which buys you time for another Wild Axe, but still.
With him walking around with his phase boots, he's still hitting over 150 a pop. Like, physical damage with the control time.
And this is the downside of the Lich, right? Where you win the lanes, if you snowball, you get those lucky bounces, you feel great, but the game you're behind, you're just frosted. Like, what do you do?
You stay frosty. The only good lucky bounce that Lich Kuroa had was the one to bounce to Roger in that mid lane fight. That was kind of it. He didn't get lost in the creep wave. But VP are now going to push in the top lane. There's a tier 1 and a tier 2 tower. There's a fight they want to have. They've got Rupture available. They've got Aegis Immortal in the hands of the Void. They've got Chronosphere up and running. And they've got a BKB and Maelstrom on the Void. They've even got a Maelstrom onto the Wind Ranger with her Blink Dagger. So blinking into shackle shots is a real pain for Liquid to try and dodge. And all Liquid can do is try and do the counter push. Luckily, they do have a Latrak. Downside is, Faceless Void begins the TP, begins the Chronosphere, and that Latrak I was talking about, you blink and he was gone. Solo will arrive, they look for a counter, GH with the Burrow Strike forward, no Chronosphere up, so Solo will fall.
You know,
Liquid at least get something back.
I don't know if I mind that buyback. Immediately, Mind Control is going to be back into the fray. They know there's no BKB or Chrono on the Void, and he has Aegis, so if there were ever a time you might be able to take a fight, this could be it. And as I said,
look at GH already ready for it.
They're a team fight lineup. Even though they're so far behind, this is their best shot at winning. It's unlikely, but possible.
It's a kill for a kill, support for a core, and a tier 1 and a tier 2 tower trade, but this will make it worth it. Blink, Burrow Strike forward, Beastmaster in trouble. They forced off him out of the stun, but GH coming back in for more with the epicenter right in the middle, but with a Rupture. How quickly does that Death Prophet die? Ramses will fall. Remember, it's the Aegis Immortal fight. Team Liquid only have GH left, and he's got to. Buyback or Aegis, which one's more powerful? Liquid committed so hard to get that fight, knowing they needed something. But there you go. Yeah, as this feedback, this team fight recap shows, they got nothing.
Dude, Matumba Man just explodes. He didn't have time to Yuls himself, to wand. He just died. I think he tanked a power shot to the face. That's not even the increased damage on the talent. But yeah, you initiate, you get the Q up. But look at Matumba Man. He's already so low. He gets hit twice by Void, 3 times the focus fire from the Wind Ranger, and he caught an axe, I think. And all of a sudden, like, that's it. Beastmaster with already level 20. Holy crap, those axes are doing 220 per, plus the damage amp.
And that expression, yeah, I'm dead, boys. Couldn't even have the facial expression fit into the time it took for him to die. So now VP, look towards the middle lane. Nightmare setup. Matumba's a little bit further out. They don't really have much to work with. We're all still on cooldown for 5 more seconds. They're going to bounce the Nightmare over to Kuro, but no one's happy with this. He's got Rupture available, so Matumba, you want to try and fight this. The Raw will control the back lines where you're going to lose Kuro in a little bit while Matumba can't fight that one. No one just turns on the blade belt. No one can fight this. It's just really, it feels like it should already be GG. You're buying back out of pure optimism.
I mean, it pretty much is GG at this point, but man, like, I can't. It's incredible to me that VP's down a game in this series when you just watch how well they're playing. Those BKBs were once again near flawless, where they bait the spells. It's the same thing we saw even in the laning stage up top, where they always play on a knife's edge. They force you to address their positioning, and then they just waste your time. Or in that case, you waste your stun, and all of a sudden, GH, what do you do now?
You know, the real reason I didn't believe the panel at the start of this game is because at the end of the draft, VP was sitting there laughing their asses off. They knew that they had themselves a really solid draft, and that's all they really wanted to have against Liquid. Something that can even the playing field and just let them be VP. And that's exactly what we're seeing right now. It's VP in a nutshell.
Yep, dominate the lanes, dominate the mid game, and just absolutely destroy your opponent.
Bounty, 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 bounty. That gold advantage, 26k now. The Blink Dagger on the Beastmaster, so initiation has arrived. And this appears to be the last roll of the dice for Team Liquid. They need something huge. The Dire Scan just wears off as Batuman walks over that area. So they'll come up underneath the shrine, which no one's burning, so he'll have to mana for the fight. He starts the blood right. They still feel like something is coming near him. And the Nightmare, Solo, he stopped GH's initiation. He'll change targets over towards Beastmaster. The Chronosphere, the slap down, Faceless Void. He never got it up. They actually will go down to the Lich ulti. They needed something, and they've got it. 3 heroes down for Burst Pro. 2 who do not have buyback. Roger's on the run. Bloodseeker got out, burned the BKB to do it.
Yeah, BB can still win team fights apparently, although Ramsey's helped them out a little bit. He BKB and then Mask of Madness and silenced himself, and all of a sudden he could no longer leap or cast Chronosphere and just died inside the Monkey King ult.
Maybe that's not the fight they were exactly looking for at the very beginning. I'll have to see that again in slow motion, just see what happens to that Faceless Void, because if Chrono hits, that fight's so different.
He caught the Monkey King stun.
It was before,
and
right?
essentially just died in that duration. The Monkey King doesn't have much survivability, but with the Echo Saber plus Battle Fury, the moment those Wukongs come out, if you're in the wrong position like the Void was there, I believe he took 3 or 4 of the statues hits to the mouth, and then all of a sudden you've got no survivability, you're dead. And again, yeah, great fight for Liquid. They're going to need at least 1, more likely 2 or 3 more like that if they want to take this game. And
yeah,
it just seems to be so easy for VP to win fights if they start as skirmishes and they get the initiation. Again, I doubted the Bloodseeker with these 2 cores you don't like to buff, but he just keeps using it offensively, and then all of a sudden that target's just tanking axes and a power shot to the face, and it's less than half HP.
Yeah. Looks like no one's going to find some kind of defensive item. He's going to get Lincoln Sphere into his quick buy. The Glimmer Cape will be there for the Bane, so they are finding more ways to survive into these fights. The Lincoln Sphere is almost done for Ramses as well. BKB is the choice from Pasha, and you've still got BKB, the choice from Wind Ranger. So that sustain that VP need to ensure the Team Liquid do not have another team fight like that, that's what they're farming towards right now.
Yep. Again, I go back to their itemization. They got those BKBs to secure, to sit on that mid-game lead and ensure that they would always be the ones winning fights. And then Maelstrom Void, Radiance Bloodseeker, they haven't fallen off at all. They're still 1-2 in net worth, even though Monkey King just rushed to Battle Fury. And part of that is a product of just how far ahead they are in the game. But even though Liquid gets that fight, look at how they're forced to position and move around the map. They're 5 in their own woods. VP, you can play wherever you want.
That's not the way the Monkey King wants to play. That's the reason why Monkey King got the +6 at a tree dance cast range, so you can bounce around, push the lanes, farm as much as you can, and then get quickly back into the right lane. Such a long distance jump.
I'd like to see VP pick up a gem sometime soon. Start de-warding offensively. They have the smoke ready. Solo with 3 wards. It's once again time for the VP Vision Adventure. Probably look to maybe make a fight happen in the meantime, but you got to be a little more concerned. You just lost a fight. You want to make sure you regain your composure, properly outline what do we do next. I think you wait for this Bloodseeker to finish his Lincolns. He's going to be grabbing that right after this camp.
Yep. But he'll have the Lincolns. Yep. You just got the Lincolns also completed over on Faceless Void. And does he actually have? Yeah, he's got the whole thing as the BKB recipe is going back for Roger.
And it's a basic maneuver, but if you look at the current gold, you've got less than 1,000 almost gold saved on the VP heroes. They all just buy out items. Now it's time to smoke, place vision, look for an advantage, because you spent everything. You're about as strong as you can get. Every second that or minute that goes by is a minute the enemy team could be finishing their items while you've already finished and start sitting on yours.
Both teams are within such a small radius of each other. The only difference between the two, VP has smoke. Team Liquid does not. So GH is in the tree line, ready to break it. The jump ball from Monkey King. He actually sees him, goes after Bane. Solo, how many times does he beam the bait successfully? They just bring down the Monkey King, and the Chronosphere is perfect. 2 heroes caught in the side. There goes Monkey, there goes Lash, there goes Krob. The Lich ulti can bounce around, it'll cancel now. Epicenter, maybe GH gets something in return. Faceless Void, he is barely living away from the Sandstorm, and he can time walk out as well. Liquid They just can't catch a break. Roger will kill Kuro in front of the fountain. That last attack, whoop, no, it's going to miss. You'll set the up towards the air. Matoverman trying to go after Roger. He's a decent kill with a Crypt Swarm. 450 each thanks to the tier 4 towers helping out. And that's how much Roger is worth.
And you can see VP recognize why they lost that previous engagement. Pasha immediately goes for the Monkey King. He explodes. That's the end of the fight. If that ult doesn't go down, there is no way any of Liquid's heroes are going to survive. And they bait Solo. I feel like I've seen that story many times this year where he just wanders in, accepts his mortality, and gives his life for his team to ensure that they can find the follow-up team fight.
You know, Solo's one of those guys that maybe he can actually achieve the Melk Award. Like a Melk Award in a tier 1 game. He's actually he's probably the first one that can do it after Melk.
Game's changed a bit since Melk was good at Dota, Toby.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can get away with that.
I think issue with that statement, Melk was never good at Dota. Roshan's gonna go down. And you can see Mortal and Cheese. The buyback's already come out from Roger, and they know what they've got. It's the extra life into Faceless Void, the Cheese at no one, and GH into the Sandstorm, but dust up. Rogers is BKB, he doesn't care. Kura will go down as well, and they found an extra one. Ramsey, he'll just stand his ground. Miracle, the Fiend script has locked him up, and Ramsey gets an extra time off for good measure. Matama wants to jump out, won't happen, so top lane, you lose it. That's the game, that really is the game. GG, Kura will call it. We level this best of 5 grand final super major beautiful game of awesomeness of Dota at 1 apiece.
It's just so good. There's again so much you could talk about. I just have this big ass smile on my face because I love watching these two teams play. I don't believe, did they even play in a final this year in a major?
Liquid versus VP. You know, you can let the panel answer that one a little bit later.
Yeah, I don't have the stats on me.
I know they're sitting there ready to talk about the last time these teams met, how they actually fought, but I don't know. We can talk about the difference, the evolution that's come with Dota players, and if this really is where the evolution goes,